we are continuing with polynomial division. This is part 2. Last time we did long division. Now we're going to look at synthetic division. So synthetic division works a little differently. You're going to take this, what we are dividing by, x plus 5, and figure out what makes it equal 0. So we would set it equal to 0, subtract 5, so we would get a negative 5. So negative 5 is what's going to go in what I call a little box off to the side. Then we're going to take the coefficients of this numerator, 3, 13, and negative 10. All right, leave enough space, we have enough room to write another line of numbers and then draw a line. To start using synthetic division, you're going to drop your leading coefficient below the line. Then you're going to multiply negative 5 times 3, and you get negative 15. You will then add 13 and negative 15 to get negative 2. And then we repeat that process again. Negative 5 times negative 2, which is a positive 10, and then add, which in this case gives us 0. This last number here represents your remainder. So since we have a remainder of 0 in this case, we don't actually have a remainder. Now, to write our final answer, you take these coefficients, and we were using a quadratic, but we divided it, so now it's a linear. So we have 3x minus 2. And that's our final answer. A lot of people like synthetic better than long division. I am certainly one of those, but you do need to know how to do them both. Let's try another one. So here we're dividing by x plus 2. Remember, we put whatever makes the second one equal 0 into the little box. So we're going to put negative 2 in the little box off the side. And then we write the coefficients next to it. So 1, negative 3, negative 14, negative 8. And then you always start by dropping down that leading coefficient before we start multiplying and adding. So multiply negative 2 times 1 to get negative 2. And then we add, multiply, add, multiply, add. And look, again, we got a remainder of 0. Okay, so our last step is to write this as an equation. Our original was a cubic, which means we got a quadratic here. It always goes down 1 degree. So we have 1x squared minus 5x minus 4. All right, we're going to try one more of those. We have x plus 4 that we are dividing by. So again, hit pause and give this one a try. We have negative 4 in the box. And just like with long division, if you're missing a term, so notice how there's no linear term, there's no plain x here. You have to put a placeholder of 0 in there. And then negative 5. Drop down. And then multiply. Add, multiply, add, multiply, add. This time we do get a remainder. So we have a remainder of 165. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's work on changing this to an equation. So again, we had a cubic, which makes this a quadratic. Always goes down by 1 degree. So 3x squared minus 10x plus 40. And then just like with the long division, your remainder, we always put a plus, negative 165 over what we were dividing by, x plus 4, and that has to be in parentheses.